Hi, everybody. This is Brent Peterson, and I'm going to take you through a little bit of a, how to set up a Jamboard and some ideas for how you can create a variety of little templates or opportunities to use with your students in a Jam. So you can see here, I just created a really quick template that I might use with students in Jamboard. So I have a couple pages here, and what I did was use some shape building tools and draw and then duplicate by setting up a image as a background. You can see here that it's an image, and I'm going to just kind of really quick walk you through that process of what I did. Now, you could create this using a laptop, or you can create this using an iPad. I did this on an iPad because that just tends to be a tool that I like to use for creation. But you could do the same thing on a laptop. Maybe you already have an image that you want to use as a background that you found somewhere, or that you've had created in a Google Slides template or something, right? Where you created some sort of a grid. Maybe it's some sort of a bingo chart, or maybe it's some sort of open space that you've created with a little bit of parameters as far as what you want students to do in each of the spaces you're given. There's like you could do a four corners where each of the four areas is a different learning type style that you want kids to show what they know in a different manner. And endless options here, right? So what I'd like to show you really quick is just how to set a background. So this is not, you can choose from things like, the lines or the grids if you want to have them do some sort of work using either of those types of tools, or you can have them grab an image, or you could grab an image, I should say. So you can do a Google image search. Let's say I wanted to find some sort of a tic-tac-toe board. If I wanted something like this, I can really quick grab this image, set frame background, and bingo, I now have a tic-tac-toe board. It is as quick, as simple as that if you chose to do that. So what I'm going to do is go back to setting that as blank and show you really quick what I did here was just build my own, because I didn't have anything out there that I just wanted to use. I wanted to create my own. So on a blank board, I'm going to show you how to do this. So there are shape building tools here that you can use on your laptop. And once I've built a shape, right, I can duplicate that shape and drag it and move it. And then duplicate again and drag and move. And continue to do this until I get whatever sort of pattern or setup that I want. And I've got everything kind of fitting on the page to the best of my ability. So obviously I noticed that I've got to kind of edit these up a little bit, and I would go through this process of making sure that they fit on the page well to do this. But once you have your board kind of set up as is, what you could do is add text, and you can number your board 1, right? You can add multiple of these, 2, and then kind of continue and number them. And this is just something that I created that very similar, right? That was like this, only I did it on an iPad instead. And I'm going to show you how that looks really quick. Here is my iPad screen where I did exactly what we just talked about. And I'm going to go over to board 3. This is the one I created. And instead of doing it on the tools on a laptop, what I did is I grabbed the pen tool here and my stylus, and there is something on the bottom called Assistive Drawing Tools. And what you can do is grab any type of shape and pick a color that you want to use. And then once you're on your thing, if you start drawing that shape, it's going to determine what the shape is and kind of help you and assist you in creating that. Once you've got that shape, you can grab the drag tool and move it around. You can make it larger or smaller. You have an option when it comes to those types of things. You also have the option of adding some stickers. They have some of these pre-made kind of templates if you wanted to choose to do some of these. And then once you grab it, you can move it around. You can make it larger. So you have some choices when it comes to that. Another interesting option here is to give kids templates like this that they could build their own comic with. There's all kinds of different tools and things. So again, once you have this all kind of laid out, what I like to do is if I was to build my page is grab a screenshot of it. Or better yet, even in the web version, which I just flipped back over to, I'm going to hit Command-Shift-4 on my laptop, and I'm going to get a screen grab of this page, right? And then what I want to do, instead of, I'm going to clear this frame for now, and I want to set the background as that page that I just had by dragging this on here. And now, here's the big difference. If I were to give students editing access to this document, if I had each one of these things as separate items on the page, right? If I went back over to my iPad, I can't grab any of those things. You could see here, I can't select and grab and move around my squares that I put on here. It's not really as easy as doing, because it's the background, right? It's not just an image that was added on the screen. So to keep things from getting deleted easily, this is a great tip. Grab that background image and create it. If you want to upload the background image, pro tip here, right? You have to use the laptop version, the web version, to set your background as an image. Just to show you quick, again, I'm on my iPad. If I wanted to set the background of this, I cannot grab a picture. There's no image area. So on iOS, on the app, this is not something you can do yet. You can build and create, but then you'd have to either airdrop or email or something that image to yourself. So on here, you could set that background image as I just showed you by dragging this on here and having a background set the way you want. But those are some ideas for building, right? Or the how-tos of building. There's all kinds of things you can do here with sticky notes and giving some directions. Go to the space assigned to you and be ready to sketch. If I did something like this, I can add the sticky note as a direction kind of space on the bottom left corner, and then I can give kids that kind of direction, right? I could take this and I can move it to a different board, or actually delete it and go to a different board, or if I hit copy and then went back here and then pasted, I could create another sticky note and do kind of similar stuff if I had text, that type of thing. So again, that's the basics of building, and I'm just going to show you one more thing. On the student side, if I were to share this with kids and give them editing access, one of the neat things about the Jamboard is that I have the ability to zoom in and kind of pick a space. So let's say I was assigned space number 5 as a student. If I were to zoom in, right, I could have this entire space as my screen. So if my job was to sketch some sort of image about today's lesson, what does this make you think of? Explain to me, something that you want, even if it was in written text, right? This lesson reminds me of ... You get the idea, right? And then if I needed to draw something, I could do that same thing. I always kind of go back to the science, right? If I did a water cycle lesson and I want some sort of, give me some images that help you remember the water cycle, right? Maybe I kind of put in a cloud with some precipitation coming down, and then, here's water on the ground, and then eventually this water evaporates back up in the air, and then I can kind of go through and talk about this process of whatever it may be, and then when I zoom back out, the teacher or whoever can see everyone else's ideas here. So as long as it's something that you're willing to have students sharing their thinking and their work on a collaborative space, could work great. Other options, kids could have their own slides, right? You could have 20 slides in this deck that each kid gets assigned to their own slide and has a similar workspace because you, again, have duplicated that space over and over for them, so everybody has the same work, or whatever that may be. So this is just some basics, some ideas as far as creating a variety of Jam ideas or Jamboard ideas that you could push out to students in an editable format, and they could show their thinking live. You have access, they have access, everybody can edit. You can see their thinking on that whiteboard template in a live situation in a breakout room or on a Google Meet or on a Zoom conference or anything. And in this remote situation, that could be great. In the classroom, it could be excellent to see student work while you are working in small groups or whatever it may be. So play around, create your jam, and good luck with everything. Thanks for watching.